What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall markets. I'm also going to break down some very important levels to watch for and how things are looking in my personal opinion. But just notes that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY. The offer ends in just 7 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, now let's talk about the markets. So, as you guys know, we got the PMI reports. Everything was very close to expectations, except manufacturing was a little bit below. So, the market saw a little bit of a dip and a bounce, followed by some more downside after that. But a lot of sideways price action. Besides that, even after Kashkari's speech, the market's been kind of choppy, and we just remain choppy as I speak. So, the question is, what's going to happen from here? I want to talk about that. So, just to be clear, SPY is trying to hold this yellow trend line. As long as we're above this, we are favoring like the upwards direction technically. But today, on an intraday basis, we're very choppy. So despite the fact that we're holding up on the larger time frames, we're very choppy right now, not really doing much, and the market's still kind of indecisive. So if you're bullish on the markets, you want to see SPY try to break past these highs right here, like the 570 area. If we try to break the 570s, we could remain more bullish. If we end up losing 568, we turn more bearish. As of right now, we're just range bound, going back and forth and back and forth. There's not really much going on with this. So I just wanted to call that out. For ES, we're also kind of flat right now. We have 5780 as resistance. If this breaks, we're looking for 5800 flat. We're very close to that. If we end up dipping, we're looking at support around this 5750 area. If that fails us, we're looking for a dip back down towards the lower 5700s. Overall, we're just range bound, but we're doing a good job at holding, especially at our 20 EMAs. However, as far as ES goes, we're just still stuck within this range, so we just have to give this some time to develop. So I'll be watching that very carefully. We're just range bound, and we're not really doing much for now. Nvidia did dip to 115. I did mean 115 in my previous video. I think I may have said 515, so sorry about that, guys. But, 115 did end up coming for Nvidia. We came all the way down to the supports, and then we also had this gap to fill. So it's possible we actually dip a little bit more on Nvidia. So it's not completely done yet. We could dip a little bit more before we try to get that balance, but overall it still remains a little bit more bearish, especially relative to the markets. It's not the best of news for the share price for now. For Bitcoin, we're kind of range bound as well, very flat, very sideways. We have basically 63,800 as resistance and about 63,000 flat as support. We're just stuck in the middle, going back and forth and back and forth. Not much is going on for the time being. Now, how about Tesla? Tesla's been very bullish, got some nice news coming out from Kashkari about the Fed potentially cutting rates more, and also a lot of hype involving their deliveries and the robotaxi event coming out very soon. So all this hype is still coming out for Tesla. We're approaching that 250 resistance. We also have support at 247.5 below that. If that fails us, we're looking for that gap support around that 246 area. If that fails us, we're looking for 244, then all the way down to the low 240s if that fails us, in my opinion. So those are my levels essentially for Tesla. Overall, it's holding up very well. It does have potential to break out more, but just know that 250 is going to be a very tough resistance. We might not break that quite easily. So could go a little higher, then we'll see if we get that rejection. So give it the time it needs. For others out there like NQ, we are dipping a bit. We have basically this 20,000 area as our support. If that fails us, we're dipping back down to 19,800. And then we have this resistance at this 20,200 area as well. So we're range bound on NQ for the time being. I'm not really seeing much. I could see it dipping a little bit back down towards this EMA, but it's not really much of a move. I think it's very choppy for the most part. Look for a little bit of a downside move, then some more sideways price action, nothing too crazy. Same thing with the QQQ. We have 483 as resistance, followed by 485. We have our main support at 482. If that fails us, we're looking for 480 and 478. Overall, we're just very choppy on the QQQ. We could dip closer to 482 again before we try to rebound, but overall, we are still looking kind of flat. Apple's also kind of flat at this 228 area. If we hold above that, we're looking for basically 230. If we lose that, we're looking for a dip back down towards 227 and 226. So we're stuck in the middle, going back and forth and back and forth. We could rebound closer to that 230 area, but we'll see how things end up developing. For others out there, such as the IWM, we could be dipping lower. We have 220 as our support. If that fails us, we're looking for 218. And if this holds, we're looking for a rebound for 222. As of right now, the IWM looks kind of weak, so we're seeing small caps kind of dragging this down a little bit, so it might show some more weakness as time goes on. For Coinbase, we're just completely range bound, not really doing a whole lot. So we're looking at that 172 area as our resistance and 170 as support. May just continue to shop around that range for just the time being. So I just want to make that very clear. For Amazon, we pushed all the way up to about 193, just under my target up here to fill that gap. And now we're just consolidating right now. So it is possible Amazon tries to push higher, but we're going to likely consolidate between 191 and 193 for the time being. But if we lose 191, we're at risk of dipping lower. So please keep that in the back of your guys' minds. There is still some risk, at least for Amazon. For Meta, we pushed all the way up to about the 575 area only to reject. So our main support now to watch for is going to be closer to about 565, followed by 562. We also have resistance around that 570 area, but there is a risk of Meta dipping a little bit lower looking at this structure. Looking at Microsoft, we're holding up relatively well at 433. We'll see if the 20 EMA holds this up. If we hold this, we're looking for a rebound towards 436. If we lose this, we're going to be looking for a dip back down. We're just kind of flat right now between 434 and 437. We're going to likely remain flat unless we break one of these levels. So there's not much going on with Microsoft, very choppy price action. Same thing with Google. The issue with Google, though, is that even though we did push above 165, we're just barely holding above our 200 EMA. If we lose that, we're looking for a dip all the way down towards 163 again. If this holds, we could rebound for 166. Otherwise, there is a risk of downside, so I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. With that being said, guys, the market is just continuing to consolidate in this range. We'll see how we end up developing during the final hour of the day. And then I just want to say that it's very important to be kind of careful with the way the market's moving. Yes, we could go higher. Of course, it's a possibility, but resistance is going to be very tough. So be careful. I don't think it's going to be an easy way up. It's going to be kind of tricky with the way the market's shopping around and the fact that 570 to 572 is a very, very tough resistance zone. Okay, so just want to give you guys a heads up about that, about how we're approaching this very, very tough level. That does not mean I'm saying that we won't break it. It's always possible for the future, but for now, we just have to be very patient. One more thing I want to call out is the VIX. There's something interesting going on. We're still dipping right here. The VIX is falling. We also happen to have this gap down here. So it's possible the VIX dips a little bit lower. Maybe this helps the market, or maybe it's because of the market potentially trying to hold up. But in order for that to start filling, we need confirmation of a break below 15.75. If we lose that on the VIX, that's going to signify that the market likely has more upside potential. If we don't, this could still bounce technically at gap support. We'll have to see, do we bounce off that or not? As right now, the market remains choppy, so we'll give this the time it needs. Stocks like Tesla did a good job at pushing, but they're at some tough resistance. So once again, we have to be very patient with this market. Give it the time it needs, and we'll see how things end up going. This is not the best day for day trading if you are interested in doing that. It's a better day for just like being patient, waiting for opportunities for other things. Like if you want to swing shorts, you could look at this as an opportunity, but I'm referring to like 6 months out, 3 months out, 2 months out, something like that. I'm not talking about like right now. So I just want to make that very clear. If you do want to do something like that, this could be technically an opportunity, but I can't guarantee that because the market still has potential to go a little higher. And then you want to be very patient nonetheless. So I thank you for listening. Have a great day and peace out.